Hello folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. Now unfortunately we're going to start this video on negative. Last night I decided just to scrap the old route and start over. The bug thing that I got was like really affecting quite a lot of stuff. Like some tracks weren't working, as you saw in the video, there was a little bit of track in Gothland, but the track between Gromont and Gothland was all gone. There was no track in Gromont. So I decided, screw it, we'll scrap it and start over. And another reason was that there was quite a lot on that route that I wasn't happy with. So I'll talk to you about the things that I wasn't happy with in Gromont in a second. But Dominion of Canada had to go back over to Canada. We only got that on loan for a few weeks, about a month, so that we could make a video with it. And then obviously it's gone back to Canada, but we've got Eisenhower still, so that's alright. I am joking, I still have got the loco, if I can find it. Don't worry, I've still got the loco, still there. Anyhow, so starting off with the track, as you can see it's not the bullhead track that I was using before, and there's a reason. I'll get the track that I was using before to demonstrate. Get a section of track, and if we get a Mark 1 coach, just use a maroon one for the purposes of this. As we can see, lovely coach, lovely track, but the two don't mix. If we go to the wheels, you'll see why. You can see here, I don't know how well you can see on camera, but the wheel flange isn't in between the rails, it's actually inside the rail, which isn't accurate. As you can see, it's like inside the rail. That one's alright, but this side, as you can see, it's inside the rail, which isn't, it just annoys me. So I decided actually it'll just be best to not use that track with the Mark 1s. Let's say I was running on the main line with the Mark 2s, and that'll be alright because the Mark 2s are fine with it, but the Mark 1s aren't. So if we go over these Mark 1s, we can see on this track they fit in between the rails properly, so that's why I decided to use this track. You can see that's the connection to network rail, and the rake of D coaches and Mark 1s are back there. Now in Gromont station, platform 1 has quite a bit of an extension to it in real life, it's quite a lot longer. I've replicated that like before. The crossover thing here was like just after the station, therefore it couldn't have that extension, so that wasn't really accurate. The level crossing was a big nag in the last one. It was like where the wooden track starts again here, and it should be literally just after the end of the platform ramps, which it is here. So I've tried to not use the wood grade crossing thingy with bobs on the top, but unfortunately with this nice road that I've used, which has an arch to it like it should have in real life, that's how they drain the water off it when it rains. It's like a 7-inch sort of drop, which isn't very accurate, so I have had to use them. But the paths, I just want to say, I started to build this route about 9:30 in the morning where I live. It's now 6:30 at night, so obviously I've been working on Gromont station for literally all day. But we can see where the path is, the track is basically perfectly level, which is what you want. Hang on a minute, are you being told off by the police officer, madam? Hope you're not. So anyway, I got the pass level. It took literally an hour for each individual, for like the pass. I had to add that little extra one, so it's about 1.5 hours to add the pass in, just to get them the right height. This side, we can see where these double sort of line of rivets is in the crossing. That's where the two separate ones meet. So I had to use 2 in order to span the length, but 1 wasn't enough, so I had to use 2, so that's why that one's there. But we can see the signal box, that's now accurate, it has the 4 arched windows in the bottom, it has, windows on the top and the steps which go down. Then there's this sort of extra footpath thing here, which the signalman will come down onto whenever he leaves the signal box. That's fairly accurate. And in order to get the correct spacing between the track and the signal box, this signal box comes with this sort of wooden thingy on, and I'm using that as the gauge. And if we bring Eisenhower down, we can see that there's plenty of room between the locomotive and the signal box. And let's say you record heritage lines for YouTube. As you can see, now that looks quite good because the track is actually level with the ground. It's just a shame that the real Dwight D. Eisenhower will possibly never steam again. I think that's a massive shame. Quite a lot of steam fans think that all 6 A4s should be in running order and steamable, but they don't steam Mallard because they want to reserve as much of the original loco as they can. They don't want to be replacing axle boxes and connecting rods and all that. But Nigel Gresley, that's currently being rebuilt after its 10-year boiler ticket overhaul. So once that's rebuilt, that'll be back in steam. Union of South Africa, its mainline ticket runs out, I think, July this year. And then it'll be basically stuck on a heritage line. And then when its boiler ticket fully runs out, it'll go on static display, which I think's a right shame, because that is the last BR green one left in the UK. And with me modelling British Railways in the 60s, it is nice to go and see one of them in that livery in steam. But then of course, after this year we can't. I think it's next year that its boiler ticket totally runs out. Bitton's boiler ticket's out, or it's awaiting overhaul. So yeah, and Eisenhower and Dominion of Canada, they haven't been steamed since the 1960s, so they'll need like a full-on boiler replacement before they can even think about lighting a fire in the firebox. So yeah, it's just a bit of a shame that only 3 are left in running order. About 2 actually at the moment, because Bitton is out of service, and so is Nigel Gresley. Yeah, so Union of South Africa at the moment's the only one that is running. But of course, with what on this channel ain't gonna mention it, it isn't running. Yeah, so 3 out of the 6 remaining ones should be in steam, but 2 of the 3 remaining ones that should be in steam are out of service, which is just a shame really. But anyhow, And I've waffled on about something else, and now we're no longer talking about the route. So anyway, after the crossing, we have the concrete track which starts well, we can see the rail join just after this wooden one. So the concrete track is underneath the level crossing, even though you can't see it. And the concrete track, well, the concrete sleepers run until here, and it goes back to the wooden ones. And then we go onto the bridge, which I've used this bullhead track, which the marker ones don't run on, but you know, you don't really look at this part of the line in detail, so that's alright. I might replace it, you know, over the bridge. Now, unfortunately, I did the station before the tunnel, which is a big mistake, because either I have the tunnel mouth, which is the entrance to it, either here or here. I can't have it here, which is where I need it, because obviously, you know, this track would have gone straight on. You know, I can't have it like slightly further over, which is a massive shame. So unfortunately this track isn't straight, it's on a slight curve, but that doesn't really matter unless you're like a massive fan of the railway and you're like, that's not right, it should be straight. Just move these point frogs back in the correct place. So anyhow, tunnel's in. I've still got to extend the hill a bit more. You know, basically the track stops after the tunnel. So after about 9 hours work on the line, I've literally only built one station. Now I would have recorded all of this, you know, like time lapses and all that. But at the moment I'm having my bathroom redone. So, you know, the racket was unbelievable until about 3 o'clock this afternoon, because they were basically stripping out all the horrible, nasty looking 1990s plastic stone effect stuff off the wall. You know, it's meant to look like a marble wall, but it's not. It looks like some cheap plastic thing that's been glued on the wall. So that's been removed, thank God, because it was awful. That bathroom was fitted by the last people who lived in my house, so it was their bad taste and not mine. So yeah, the racket was unbelievable, as I was saying, and I mean, there was no way I was going to be able to record a video with that going on. But think of it this way: the more racket there is, the better the bathroom will be, and because more work's gone into it. So anyhow, that's what I've had to do with the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. I've had to scrap it and restart it. Roman's looking a lot more accurate now, which is good. So if you've enjoyed listening to me waffling on about A4s and the station and my bathroom, then please give this video a like. And also if you like what you see, and also please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, or for whatever reason you haven't already, then please consider subscribing, so I can host more special events where Eisenhower and Canada attend. So thank you very much for watching, folks. I will see you in the next video.